Hi everyone, Miriam here. So for this week's 5 presentation, I want to do a resource and commodity analysis on the Nigerian light crude. So in the global energy environment, Nigerian light crude is a premium petroleum with low sulfur level, which is essential. So Nigeria is one of the top producers of oil in Africa, which makes it one of the few countries in the world that has an extensive reserve of this priceless resource. And that is because Nigeria's light crude makes up a large portion of the world's crude oil supply. So, understanding this dynamic, it's essential to understand global energy markets. So, refineries all over the world are very interested in it because it's relatively light composition and minimal impurities. So this presentation today will track the supply, the demand, and intake trends of the Nigerian light crude, which will by the end allow us to shed light on the commodity financial and geopolitical implications. So let's look at the research and data collection. So several trusty sources have been reviewed for a thorough examination of the Nigerian light crude. And in order to gather data on production, consumption, reserves, and other trends, industry studies, government publications, academic journals, and energy market analysis were all considered crucial sources. And this critical data regarding Nigerian light crude manufacturing capabilities, global intake patterns, reserves, and change dynamics were supplied by these sources. So all of these details may be necessary to understand the resources place in the strength market. So this presentation will we're able to provide a comprehensive picture of this vital energy commodity through thorough research, which made it easier to conclude its demand distribution across the globe and overall effect on the energy industry. So let's take a look at the geographic analysis. The valuable resource known as Nigerian light crude is mainly found in large quantities in certain part of the country, and that makes Nigeria a significant player in the world's oil market. Now, the Niger Delta region of Nigeria, which includes the state of Delta, Rivers, and Bayelsa, is a center for current production and has significant proven resources. So these regions, onshore and offshore oil fields, make a substantial contribution to the country's oil production. Now, Nigeria is not the only neighboring West African nation with significant light crude deposits. In fact, other countries like Angola, Ghana, Equatorial Guinea are amongst them. Angola is actually one of Africa's biggest oil producers and maintains that status as a significant provider because of its abundant light crude oil reserves in offshore locations. Moreover, the Gulf of Guinea, encompassing Nigeria and the previously listed neighboring nations, is a tremendous geographic region rich in Nigerian light crude, and it is critical to keep an eye on events and trends in the Gulf because it is advantageous location and copious oil resources, which make it a vital region for the world oil supply and trade. So together, these areas increase the overall production and abundance of Nigerian light crude, which therefore affects the dynamics and trades of oil around the world. The information emphasizes these areas' strategic importance in the energy sector. Okay, so now let's identify the needs. So Nigerians light crude is mostly needed in nations in area with high energy use. So substantial economic development and urgent energy security issues. The need for energy is rising in emerging economies like India, China, due to their fast industrialization and growing population. So, because of this superior quality and low sulfur content, Nigeria light crude is an essential resource for supplying these expanding energy demands and promoting economic expansion. So, Nigerian light crude is becoming more and more popular in Southeast Asia and Europe as regions look to diversify their energy supplies for reasons related to energy security. So, because of this advantageous composition and comparatively steady production, it is a desirable option for nations looking to increase their energy security by lowering their reliance on a single source. So these factors emphasize how important Nigerian light crude is to countries aiming for sustainable growth, energy security, and economic development in addressing their energy needs. So Asia, like we said, like Asia, Europe, and North America are the three central regions where Nigerian light crude is consumed. Nigerian light crude, for example, is widely consumed in the United States because American refineries are capable of processing this grade of crude oil well, and Nigerian light crude is also a significant supply for European countries, especially the ones with advanced refinery infrastructure. So, the environmental restrictions and energy policies that promote the use of low sulfur crude are some of the factors that actually influence consumption patterns. So, to further increase consumption, there is a need for light crude for efficient manufacturing process brought about by industrial activities in these areas. So, comprehending the consumption patterns and the determinants that impact them is vital in assessing the position of Nigerian light crude in the worldwide energy arena in coordinating production and distribution tactics to satisfy demand efficiently. Okay, so now let's look at the interdisciplinary analysis. So, Nigerian light crude distribution has a significant impact on the geopolitical, environmental, and economic spheres. So, from an economic perspective, it affects cost and adds to the supply chains, which then impacts the world energy market. Their availability and scarcity can have an impact on market dynamics, investment decisions, and trade agreements. So, Nigerian light crude is preferred in terms of the environment because of its low sulfur level, which complies with rules and minimizes pollution. And its application stimulates the production of greener energy and lessens the adverse environmental effect on high sulfur crudes. So, globally speaking, countries that possess substantial stocks or access to Nigerian light crude have a strategic edge in economic ties and also have control over this resource, which gives them the power to influence international relations, diplomatic dynamics, and geopolitical tensions and alliances. So, policies makers and other stakeholders in the energy sectors must comprehend that these multidisciplinary ramifications in order to make wise decisions. Okay, so to sum up, Nigerian light crude is an essential resource in the world energy market because of its pure composition and abundance in Nigeria and other West African nations. It holds a significant place in the oil market, and its importance is highlighted by knowing the transdisciplinary ramifications, as well as the geographic distribution and consumption trends. In addition, improving sustainability measures in its extraction, promoting partnerships to optimize production and distribution, and also diversifying markets to guarantee stability in some of the recommendations. So, to satisfy the expanding energy needs, sustainability, and navigating geopolitical challenges is an imperative to acknowledge and adjust to the evolving role of the Nigerian light crude. Thank you.